What is going on, guys? It is the day, finally, the day that I predict March Madness. Now, it's still Selection Sunday, as you can see up in the top right. It is Sunday at 11:52 p.m. I decided to film this on Sunday night. Very anxious for this week. I have finals this week, and then obviously March Madness. So on Thursday, though, I got my toughest final in the morning. I honestly expect to fail it. Whatever. Um, but even if I do, doesn't matter. March Madness is among us. It's time to get hyped. I can care less about school right now. But let's get right into March Madness, the round of 64. Now we're just gonna go off the left side first. We got Gonzaga versus Norfolk or Appalachian State. Now, I think Appalachian State is going to beat Norfolk in that game. I would love to see Appalachian State make a run here, but let's be honest with ourselves. As much as I don't think Gonzaga is as legit as they are made out to be because of the number one team in the country, because they aren't necessarily playing the toughest of teams, Appalachian State is not the toughest of teams for them to play. I think they beat Appalachian State there. Then we get into Oklahoma versus Missouri. Now, Missouri is a team that I think could be very sneaky. They did beat Illinois earlier this year. They have gone through their struggles this year. Oklahoma has been a team that's either been good or bad. They don't necessarily know where they fit in. But if both teams come to play their best basketball, Oklahoma probably wins the game. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if both teams will come to play their best basketball. For some reason, I don't know what it is telling me that Jeremiah Tillman is going to have a huge game here, and I think that Missouri is actually going to pop off and beat Oklahoma and go on to play the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Then we get into Creighton versus UC Santa Barbara. Creighton is a team that I am very worried about in March Madness. Obviously, um, we're not going to get into what was said, but they will not be having a coach for March Madness. I believe they have an interim coach or an assistant coach coaching right now for them. And then UC Santa Barbara is a team that my roommate's trying to put me on because he's from California, so he's trying to put me on Santa Barbara. And I was considering it. But I don't think Creighton loses in the first round, especially because they got my guy Z. I don't even know how to pronounce the dude's name. The point guard over there at Creighton. This dude, he's a beast. I would love to see him win a few games. Unfortunately, Creighton has that the coach lingering over the heads of their program. That doesn't mean the players aren't going to go out there and perform. So I'm going to have to take Creighton. As much as my roommate would probably want me to take UC Santa Barbara, I can't do that. Ooh, Virginia versus Ohio. Now, this is a very sneaky game. Ohio almost beat Illinois earlier this year. Ohio is still a really good team, and they have a guy on their team by the name of Jason Preston. You probably haven't heard of him unless you've played Ohio, but if you've played Ohio, you know that kid is pretty dang good. I'm very scared of Jason Preston. I don't want to run into Jason Preston in the tournament. If I am any team, Virginia, they're going to have a tough task, but Virginia, they're a solid team. They know how to play defense. And I'm going to be honest with you, if you can stop Jason Preston, or even if you can stop the players around Jason Preston, you probably win the game. Jason Preston can score 30 and you'd still win the game. The way Virginia plays defense, they should win this game. I'm going to have to take Virginia, but don't be surprised if you're looking at the box scores and if this is a close game and you tune in late and you're hearing a lot of Jason Preston's name, because if Ohio is going to have a chance to win this game, it's going to be on the back of Jason Preston. He is going to make a big name for himself in March Madness. Even if they don't get far in March Madness, he is definitely going to put his name on the map as a guy that can play against the elite talent, because he's done it. He's done it. Then we get USC versus Wichita or Drake. Now, I actually think that Wichita State's probably going to win this one. USC is a team that I don't think is that great this year. Yes, I know they have Evan Mobley. Yes, I know that they were the second team over there in the Pac-12. But I'm going to be honest with you. I am not a big fan of the strength in the Pac-12. I know they do have a few ranked teams with Colorado. Oregon should be ranked. USC. But, Oregon State made it in. but I'm not a big fan of the strength of schedule in the Big 12. So I think they'll be able to pick up a game against Wichita State, but don't be surprised if Wichita State picks that one up. I think it's definitely possible there. Then we get Kansas and Eastern Washington. Now, my roommate actually did try to put me onto this onto this. I don't know why. This was the most outlandish thing I've ever heard. He said, "Hey, go with Eastern Washington." No, no, no. It's the Jayhawks, baby. Rock Chalk Jayhawks. Let's go. Kansas. I have to take Kansas. I'm sorry. But Kansas is just better. They're just better. I don't see it being an upset. I might have some upsets in here, but I can't go against Kansas. They're playing some good ball recently, so I can't go against Kansas. Then we got Oregon versus VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University. This is a game that could be interesting. It could be very interesting. Oregon will be going into this not on the best note. They lost to Oregon State in the Pac-12 semifinals to go to the championship game. VCU, on the other hand, they're not necessarily a bad basketball team, but they're not also that great of a team. I think this could be a close game. I think this is a game that could go either way. But because of my Oregon ties and me literally sitting in an Oregon classroom right now as I'm recording this, I'm going to have to go with Oregon. I'm not very confident in Oregon this year in the tournament. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, they have Eugene Omarui. Yeah, they have Chris Duarte, LJ Figueroa, Will Richardson. It just Eric Williams. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They just haven't been great. They haven't been that good, and that's weird for a Dana Altman team. And this game, I'm gonna be honest with you. This game is going to be much worse than any other game here. I feel like this game is going to be what we call a blowout. Iowa versus Grand Canyon. Obviously, we know Grand Canyon's not winning this. I'm trolling you. As much as I hate to say it, I think Iowa is going to do very well in this game. I think Luka Garza is going to have a big game. As much as I hate to say it, Jordan Bohannon should have a fair shot in this game. Iowa just matches up very well against Grand Canyon. I don't see how Iowa loses this. I really don't. And like I said, we're sticking to the left for now. We get Michigan, and I actually have Texas Southern winning this matchup. It doesn't matter who wins this matchup. Michigan's going to win. I'm not a big fan of Michigan. I would love to say that Michigan is going to get eliminated by a 16th seed. If that happened, that'd be absolutely hilarious. And I'm probably jinxing myself now because as you look over the right side and you look at my shirt, yeah, Illinois plays a 16th seed. So you can thank me, Illinois fans, if Illinois got jinxed and they lost to Drexel. But I would love to see Michigan lose this. I don't think they will, though. I don't think Michigan has a great shot to win the whole thing, but I definitely think that Michigan can easily win this game. They should. There should be no issues beating Texas Southern, which is who I think will win that game. So next we get LSU versus St. Bonaventure, the Bonnies. I'm going to be honest, I would love to go the Bonnies here. I would love it. And my friend does take them. My friend that I was making a bracket with earlier did take the Bonnies. But I'm sorry. LSU's been hot. They've been hot. You gotta go with the hot hand. LSU, yes, the Bonnies have been hot too, but LSU plays much more difficult competition. And now this is my first major upset of the day. We get Colorado and McKinley Wright, as you know from the Pac-12 video if you did watch. McKinley Wright is one of my guys. I like McKinley Wright over there at Colorado, but unfortunately, Georgetown, I don't know where they've came from recently. They were not a good team in the regular season, but they said, you know what, we're going to come off and we're going to be great here in our conference championship, and we're going to get ourselves an automatic bid because they probably weren't making it without an automatic bid. So Georgetown, they're on fire. Georgetown should win this game, just based off momentum and the way they've been playing recently. Colorado could easily win this game if Georgetown doesn't keep that momentum that they got from their conference tournament, but Colorado, I got them losing, unfortunately, for Colorado. And also, that makes sense. Never mind. I was going to say Oregon shouldn't be a lower seed than Colorado, but whatever. Next, we got Florida State versus UNC Greensboro. Come on, people. Come on. You know who's winning this one. It is the alma mater of my boy Patrick Williams, who actually got 23 points, career high tonight, and a victory tonight for the Chicago Bulls. Florida State, got to take them. Got to show my appreciation for my boy P. Will. And also, they should, if they struggle against UNC Greensboro, there's a problem. Somebody got hurt. Somebody was sick. Something happened. Florida State should have no issues going in there and beating UNC Greensboro. Then we got Birmingham Young University, BYU versus MSU or UCLA. I have an MSU jersey, but I just feel like UCLA is going to win it. And to be honest, I feel like UCLA is going to be the team to win against MSU. And as much as I would love to have BYU win because they're a decent team and they almost were able to beat Gonzaga, I got to go with UCLA, man. I don't know what it is. I got a gut feeling about UCLA in this tournament. I know UCLA isn't the same UCLA that was dominating back at the beginning of the 2010s, but this isn't because of that. This is because UCLA's been okay, and I think they can be even more than okay against BYU on whichever day they play. I don't know what day that's going to be. Friday, Saturday, who knows. Texas versus Abilene Christian. I am sorry to tell you that you guys will not be dancing. But hopefully they can prove me wrong. Hopefully they do go dancing. You know what? Hopefully they do go dancing. But unfortunately, I've got to take Texas. Greg Brown, Kai Jones, Courtney Ramey. It's just too much. They just got too much to throw at Abilene Christian. And they also got Shaka Smart. So then we got UConn and James Bouknight versus Maryland and Darnell Morley. What is his last name? Morley? I don't know. Oh, the only reason I know that dude is because Hunter Dickinson quote tweeted him on Twitter. Shout out to Mr. Crybaby Hunter Dickinson. But Maryland and UConn. Now, this game shall be interesting. Maryland is a team that I think could easily win this game. UConn is a team that I think could easily win this game. I honestly think it's a 50-50. And a lot of people, I think, are probably going to go UConn, but I think it's a lot closer than that. I think it's going to be Maryland, actually. I don't know what it is. I think Maryland is going to get the upper edge. I got some faith in Maryland this year. I don't know why I have faith in them, but I really think that they can make a special run happen. At least for one round, because Alabama and Iona. Now, don't get me wrong. Iona could win this game. I'm not going to lie to you. Iona could win this game if, and only if, Alabama cannot hit the three-point shot. Alabama shoots, on average, 33-pointers a game. 33-pointers a game. Let's say they don't shoot very well. They shoot themselves out of the game. Iona could win. But Alabama just won the SEC championship. They're on fire. And you know what they say about March. If you get hot in March, you're going to go far. And Alabama, they've already got hot in March. Hopefully that shooting stays hot for Alabama, and hopefully they get that victory over there against Iona. That could be a sneaky game. Where Iona could pull it off, but I'm going to have to go with Alabama. Then we get over to Baylor and Hartford. I don't think I need to explain this. Even watching how Hartford won the game, they looked legitimately, I'm not going to lie to you guys, they did not look like a team that could hang with Baylor. They didn't. Yeah, they won their conference championship, whatever. Just even in the highlights alone, they do not look like they will be able to hang with Baylor. Baylor should win this game. Mark Vitale, go prove me correct. Jared Butler, go prove me correct. Whatever the dude's name with the double T's in the back, you know who I'm talking about. Go prove me right. Masio Teague, go prove me right. I don't know what that sound was coming from, so I'm sorry if you heard that. North Carolina, Wisconsin. Now, this is a game that could go either way, but you do know that I took UNC to win the ACC, and they almost did. They came up short. And UNC is a team that I think they could get hot at the right time, and they could surprise a lot of people. You gotta realize that North Carolina is the only team from like the great teams of between North Carolina and Duke that are in this. They're the only ones. There's no Duke. So who's gonna hold it down? Who's gonna hold it down in Duke's absence? It has to be North Carolina. There's just no way that there's a year where we don't have North Carolina or Duke make the second round. Wisconsin's a tough game. It's going to be tricky. Demetric Trice is going to be tricky. But you gotta clinch on to what you found early in that ACC tournament, and you gotta hold on and hope that it's enough to catapult you into the second round. It's going to be a tough game. You can't go in overlooking Wisconsin. They're a good team. I would even say that Wisconsin's a great team. They're a 9 seed, and they hang very well, and they were ranked. They've hung really well with Illinois. They've hung really well with a lot of the top teams in the Big Ten, who has the best conference. North Carolina could easily lose that game. So you gotta be on your A game if you're North Carolina. Hopefully they are. I'm taking North Carolina. This game could be next, man. Oh boy, this one's a little iffy. No Colin Gillespie and a Winthrop team that's coming in hot. Oh boy. I don't want to take Nova out in the first round. I don't. Any other year, I probably have Nova going to the Elite Eight, maybe the Sweet 16, depending on how their cards play. But I can't have them. I can't trust. I cannot trust that we are going to see Villanova play their best basketball. But Winthrop can. And I haven't done this in any of my other brackets yet, but I'm taking Winthrop. Then we get Purdue and North Texas. North Texas, shout out to them. I applied to school there, got accepted, whatever. But Purdue and North Texas. I'm sorry, North Texas. The Mean Green, shout out to you guys. But unfortunately, there's this one thing in this very, very big thing in the world we like to call Purdue basketball is still an elite team. Yeah, they might not necessarily be respected as much as they should be, but they're a good team. You don't want to face that center over there. You don't want to face that 7-foot boy. You don't want to do it. Purdue, they're winning that game. And they're going on to play Winthrop. And we'll talk more about that when I get back to it. But Purdue, I got winning with that one. Texas Tech, and the Utah State Aggies. This one's going to be an okay game. I'm going to be honest with you. There's one player in this game that's going to be cool to watch, and that's Mac McClung. He plays for Texas Tech. Gotta go with Texas Tech. Also, Texas Tech is the better team, if you ask me. So Utah State should win that game. Or Texas Tech should win that game over Utah State. Arkansas, Colgate. Now, unfortunately, Arkansas was not able to pull off the SEC championship. However, Arkansas has been on fire. They went crazy to end their season. Arkansas, they have a lot to play for. And then you got a Colgate team, and I'm sorry, Colgate, you ain't going anywhere. Arkansas is just too much on fire right now. Sorry. Then we get Florida versus Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is the better team. I know the rankings are this. I don't know why they ranked them like this. Virginia Tech had a better record than Florida, and Virginia Tech should win that game. They're just better. Then we got Ohio State versus Oral Roberts. I'm going to be honest with you. Oral Roberts is not, I don't care who you have. I don't care if there's some cool players there that have been doing well for them through the conference tournament. Ohio State, they proved today against Illinois, or actually yesterday against Illinois in that Big Ten championship game. They were down 17 at one point, and they forced the game to overtime. Ohio State aren't no slouches. They're not losing that game to Oral Roberts. They refused to lose against Illinois, but they came up short against another team that refused to lose. They're not gonna lose to Oral Roberts. Let me get into my bracket. Let me get into my side of the bracket with repping the boys in Illinois, orange and blue. Hail alma mater. Illinois versus Drexel. Should I even explain? Illinois is, in my opinion, and shout out to my boy Joseph Conlon for his predictions. He said it too. They are the hottest team in college basketball. Yeah, you have Gonzaga, but guess what? Gonzaga plays in the American Athletic Conference. Who do they got in their conference? Their second best team's BYU. They're not playing Quad 1 teams every single night. That's Illinois. Illinois got that. Illinois, if Illinois loses to Drexel, man, oh my lord, you will, oh my, I don't even want to think about that. If we are the Virginia of this tournament, I don't know what I would do, man. I might just ghost everybody for a few months. You might not be seeing me if we lose to Drexel in the first round. Oh my lord, that'd be awful. Then we get into Loyola Chicago versus Georgia Tech. Now, in the interview post game, we were asking Io whether or not he wanted to be, if he would like to play Loyola Chicago, because Loyola Chicago, obviously he's from Chicago. Illinois is from Illinois, which Chicago is in. The Illinois roots are there. The Chicago roots are there. It'd basically be him playing his hometown. And yeah, that's a great story. But I don't think Loyola Chicago can honestly beat Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is a team that I think is a very sneaky 9 seed. They could, if things pan out right for them, not right for the tournament, because we all know that is not the best route for the tournament. But Georgia Tech could go a long way in this tournament, and I'm going to have to take them. Georgia Tech, I've liked what I've seen from them in their conference championship games. And, hey, yeah, Loyola Chicago. Loyola Chicago is a team that a lot of people fell in love with because of their big run a few years ago. But I'm sorry. I got to go with Georgia Tech. I know, probably a hated individual for that one, but whatever. Then we get into Tennessee versus Oregon State. Oregon State is a team that could win this game if they are shooting as well as what they did in the Pac-12 tournament. But Tennessee should win this game. Tennessee has no reason losing to Oregon State. Then again, a lot of teams had no reason losing to Oregon State, and they won the Pac-12 championship. Oregon State, playing good basketball, could win games, but that would also require the other teams not to play as bad as what they did. I'm sorry to say it, but Oregon played awful against Oregon State. I don't think Oregon State should have won that game, but Oregon played miserable. Oregon State won. That's nothing against Oregon State. I just don't think they'll be able to match up against Tennessee, and I could easily be wrong. Oregon State could play good defense again and force Tennessee to shoot terribly, and they could win this game. Oregon State definitely has it in them, but they shouldn't be winning this game, but they might. Oklahoma State versus Liberty. And now, oh man, Liberty was my team a few years ago, where when they finally did it, when they finally won, I was so hyped because I got that game right, because I was one of the few people that believed in them. And unfortunately, I can't do that this year. Now, I would do it this year outside of the fact that Oklahoma State has one guy in specific, and that guy is probably the number 1 draft pick, Cade Cunningham. I don't see how Cade Cunningham lets Liberty beat him. I don't. Liberty is a team that if they won, I would be excited for. I would be thrilled to see Liberty win this. I would absolutely be thrilled. However, I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't even know if that's possible for Liberty. I got to go with Oklahoma State. They just have the better players. Then we get to San Diego State versus Syracuse. Now, San Diego State, obviously, if this was last year, they would have been a 1 seed. They were a very good team. They were a very good team last year. However, it's not last year. And they're playing Syracuse. And I don't need to explain it much more than Alan Griffin's there. Buddy Boeheim's there. They should. Actually, I don't know why I'm saying they should. I think that Syracuse is going to win this game because they got some streaky shooters. You don't want Alan Griffin to get hot. You don't want Buddy Boeheim to get hot. They get hot at the right moments. They're a dangerous team. And unfortunately, I got that happening for San Diego State. I got Syracuse beating the San Diego State Aztecs. Next, we get into West Virginia versus Morehead State. Now, I would love to sit here and tell you that Morehead State could be a Cinderella story. They could be. Now, West Virginia is a team that I think is really good. I said it when I was talking about this conference when they played against Oklahoma State. West Virginia is a team that I think could beat Baylor. They're in the Big 12. They could beat Baylor. I am very worried about that West Virginia team. That West Virginia team is a team that I hold in high standard. And I don't know if a lot of other people are as worried about West Virginia as I am, but West Virginia, I think, could be a team that is very sneakily going to make their way far into this tournament. Then we get Clemson and Rutgers. Clemson, I don't know what happened to them. They were terrible. In their conference championship tournament. Rutgers, on the other hand, unfortunately ran into Illinois. Unfortunately for Ron Harper Jr. and company, they ran into the Big Ten champions. Rutgers, I don't think that Rutgers are a bad team. I don't think Rutgers are deserving of a 10 seed either. Rutgers is a solid team. They've played in a very tough conference, and that's what I've been saying a lot about these Big Ten teams, man. You got to realize a lot of these teams, they're not bad teams. They're not bad teams in the Big Ten. Yeah, he's a 10th seed, but they could easily compete with a 5 seed. They could easily compete with a maybe in the right side of things, a 3 seed. They're playing Iowas. They're playing Michigans. They're playing Illinois. They play very tough competition over the Big Ten, and I'm sorry, Clemson, you're just not battle tested like Rutgers is. Rutgers is going to have more experience in that type of game, and they're going to come out there and they're going to win. I got to go with Rutgers. Houston and Cleveland State. I really want to pick Cleveland State here. I really do. Oh, man. I don't want to do it. Against Cleveland State, but I have to go Houston. Houston is a very good team. They're a top 25 team in this year's NCAA. They're in the top 10 as the season ended. Houston is a good team. They're a scary team. They're a very good team. Then we get Gonzaga and Missouri, and I'm sorry. Yeah, I did praise how Jeremiah Tillman could go off against Oklahoma, but I'm gonna be honest. Drew Timme, Jalen Suggs. I don't see how I don't see a path for Missouri to win that game. I really don't. I'm gonna keep it sweet and simple with you. Creighton versus Virginia. Like I said, I think Creighton could be sneaky. I think they could be, but it's very hard winning games without coaches. And unfortunately for Creighton, I'm going to have to go Virginia. They're just in a better situation at this point. They know what's going on within their organization. They know what's happening. They know they're just in a much more neutral spot right now. Rather than having anything looming over their team. So I'm gonna have to go Virginia for that. I just have to go with Virginia. I don't see how you can win a game against a very good team like Virginia, especially in March Madness without your coach. I just don't see that. Then we get into the University of Southern California, USC versus Kansas, and as I said, I'm not a big fan of USC this year, man. USC is a team that could make a run. They could, but I don't have much respect on the Pac-12 this year. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not feeling the Pac-12 in this tournament, so that means I'm going with Kansas, going with Rock Chalk Jayhawks. And we got Oregon and Iowa, man. Oregon and Iowa, and you'd assume, hey, you're in Oregon right now. You should probably go to Oregon. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like I said, I'm not feeling the Pac-12 this year. I'm not feeling it. I don't think they go very far this year. And you know, a team that I know is battle tested, a team that I know is very good, a team that I know will have what it takes to make to the Final Four possibly. That's Iowa. That's Iowa. I hate to say it, but it's Iowa. Then we get to the East. It's Michigan versus LSU. And I'm going to be honest with you. I want to do it. I want to pull the trigger on LSU, but I can't. I got to go Michigan for at least one more round. Michigan will make it out of the round of 32. They should. They'll disappoint everybody. Michigan, especially after winning the regular season, Big Ten. I mean, don't disappoint anybody. Georgetown versus Florida State. Georgetown versus Florida State. Georgetown, like I said, they can keep hot. They might win this game, but I don't see them keeping hot against a hot Florida State team. I just don't. Then we got MSU versus UCLA. Like I said, I think it's going to be UCLA. That means Texas versus UCLA. And I want to go something crazy here, and mostly because I haven't had anything that crazy happen yet. And I think Texas will probably play very well in this game. I think they could easily win this game. But I'm going to have to go with UCLA. I'm going to have to go with UCLA or Michigan State here. I think it's going to be UCLA, though. So I'm going to go with UCLA there. Then we got Maryland, Alabama. Like I said, Alabama's a very dangerous team if they're hitting their shots. If they're not, they're in some danger. Maryland, on the other hand, they're a solid team. They're a solid team. They'll come to play. They won't get blown out. Or at least they shouldn't. I'm going to have to go with Alabama, though. They should be shooting better. Then we get Baylor, North Carolina, matchup that should be pretty fun. Pretty fun over there. Baylor, though, they just have way too many guys for North Carolina. They can throw way too many people out there for North Carolina. I'm sorry, North Carolina, but I don't see it happening. Shout out to my boy Joseph Conlon. He's a North Carolina fan. Shout out to him. But unfortunately, I gotta have Carolina being taken out by Baylor. Nothing against North Carolina. They just ran into a Baylor Bears team that I think is pretty good. We got Winthrop and Purdue. I'm gonna be honest with you. Purdue wins either of these games. Purdue's first two games, for me at least, is a lock. They should beat Villanova. They should beat Winthrop. If they lose to Villanova, I'd be shocked. If they lose to Winthrop, I'd be shocked. If they lose to North Texas, I'd be shocked. Purdue should win these first two games. They should. There's no excuse for Purdue. Even if they play Villanova, they're playing without Colin Gillespie. You should win that game. You should win that game. Purdue, do it right. Win the game. Texas Tech versus Arkansas. The Razorbacks themselves. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think Arkansas is a very dangerous team. I do. And I don't get that same vibe with Texas Tech. And for that reason, I got to go Arkansas. Virginia Tech versus Ohio State. Like I said with Ohio State against Oral Roberts, Ohio State is a very good team. They could even make it to the national championship if we're being honest with ourselves. Do I want to say that, obviously, because they're on the same side as Illinois? No. But Ohio State, they could be very dangerous. And they should beat Virginia Tech. Then we got Illinois versus Georgia Tech. And oh boy. This is going to be a complicated matchup for Illinois. I know it's going to be. These are the kind of matchups that Illinois plays really close in. These are the kind of matchups that we'll play close in. Hypothetically, we should beat Georgia Tech. Without question. But this is the kind of, just as an Illinois fan, I've had all these memories of Illinois just failing to beat teams they should beat. And I don't want that to, It's a completely new team. This is a team that beats the teams they should beat and beats teams that are great. I don't want that lingering around, but you gotta have that feeling that possibly you could lose the game. But I gotta take Illinois. I gotta trust what I've seen. I've gotta trust what I'm feeling with this Illinois team. I think there's something special cooking with it. And it'd be a shame if Georgia Tech was the one to end it. Then we got Tennessee versus Oklahoma State, and oh boy, you don't want either of these teams if you're Illinois. These are some scary matchups. Tennessee, I'm sorry, but you don't have Cade. Because they have Cade, because they've just been a very good team, even without Cade. They beat West Virginia without Cade Cunningham. I think they're a little bit better than Tennessee. I think it'll be a close game, but I think they'll beat them. I think they'll beat Tennessee. Syracuse, West Virginia, like I said, I respect West Virginia's game very much. I really respect the game West Virginia has. Syracuse, obviously, Alan Griffin's there. That's my boy out of Illinois. Unfortunately, for Alan Griffin, I got to go West Virginia. They're just a better team. They're just a better team. I got to go with them. Even if Syracuse comes out hot, West Virginia will figure out a way to win the game. Rutgers and Houston. I would love to sit here and tell you Rutgers would win. I would love to say it because that means that we possibly would not have to play Houston if we're Illinois. But Rutgers, I'm sorry to tell you guys that you guys are not going to beat Houston. You're not going to beat Houston. There's just no shot. Then we got Gonzaga and Virginia. I'm going to be honest, like I've said, I don't respect the Gonzaga AAC. I don't think they've played enough teams. I don't think they're battle-tested. Virginia, on the other hand, they've played better teams this year. Virginia has a good defense. They have what it takes to beat Gonzaga. The question is, will they beat Gonzaga? I'm going to say yeah. Like I said, I don't respect the American Athletic Conference like some people do. Yeah, Gonzaga's a good team. Don't get me wrong, but they haven't been battle tested. I don't know if the Gonzaga we're seeing is as good as they're made out to be. The second best team in that conference is BYU, who is a 6th seed. So, yeah, they're good, but they also aren't battle tested because there's really nobody in that conference. I'm sorry, Gonzaga. Then we get Kansas and Iowa. Oh boy. Kansas, I would appreciate it if you guys won this game, but unfortunately, because of everything that has happened, and because I have a sneaking suspicion of a certain scenario in which the finals will be, I think Iowa beats Kansas. Luka Garza is tough to guard. I hate saying it. I'm not a big fan of Luka Garza, but he's tough to guard. I don't see how Kansas does it. I don't see it. And if you look at these, they're all 1-4, by the way, which is weird because usually I never do that. Then we get Baylor and Purdue. Purdue is not beating Baylor. They're not. They should win these first 2 games without excuses. Purdue figures out a way to lose these first 2 games. I will be severely disappointed in Purdue. They should not lose these games. But they will lose the Baylor game. Baylor, like I said, they're just a very tough team. They have a lot of players they can throw at you. Then we got Arkansas, Razorbacks versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. Oh boy, man. Oh boy. Either of these teams can win this game. And this is probably just recency bias from me, but seeing what Illinois and Ohio State did in that Big Ten championship game, which was an absolute barn burner, I feel like Ohio State is going to play some great basketball in this March Madness tournament. Ohio State. I'm sorry, Arkansas. I think Arkansas has a chance to make the Final Four. Don't get me wrong. They do have a chance. But I'm not predicting that. I'm going with my predictions. I'm not saying they don't have a chance. They definitely have a chance. They could beat Ohio State. So don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Illinois. Oh no, we're starting with Michigan. What am I talking about? Michigan and Florida State. My time to shine. My time to shine. Florida State's a good basketball team. They're a good basketball team. Michigan is a good basketball team. Michigan, unfortunately for Michigan, they rose their expectations way too much. They claimed the Big Ten. They did all this stuff without playing some games in the Big Ten. They're a very talkative group of people. Hunter Dickinson's a really cocky dude. I just don't like them. I don't like them. Florida State's a team that I think could get the job done, and I think finally Michigan is gonna get what they deserve, and they're gonna get bounced. I'm sorry if you're a Michigan fan, but it's kind of tough. Kind of tough seeing all the excuses and all of these things when y'all didn't finish your season. Y'all didn't finish. Tired of the excuses. Florida State's winning. We got UCLA versus Alabama. Man, I hate doing this. I really hate doing this. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. You know why I hate it? Because my Elite Eight is literally so good. It is so good, but I do not think that Alabama is going to lose to UCLA or Michigan State. Alabama, if they make it to the Sweet 16, they're making it to the Elite Eight. I don't see it. Even if they play Texas, they're making it to the Elite Eight if they make it to the Sweet 16. I am more worried about Alabama versus UConn and Maryland than I am against Texas or BYU or any of those. Yeah, I am. I gotta go Alabama. They're a hot shooting team at times. If they start shooting well, they could win that game, and they should win that game. And you know what? We're gonna start at the bottom because we got the Illinois guys up top. We got West Virginia and Houston. Oh boy, this one's gonna be good, isn't it? West Virginia, like I said, I respect their game. I respect the game that West Virginia has. Houston, on the other hand, I respect their game too. But West Virginia, I just respect their game a little bit more. I think they're gonna win. Sorry if you're a Houston fan. Man, anxiety's getting to me, man. Illinois versus Oklahoma State. Cade Cunningham versus Ayo Dosunmu. Oh boy. Illinois could be in trouble. We could be in trouble. I don't want to lose to Cade Cunningham. I don't. Honestly, I'd rather lose to Luka Garza again than Cade Cunningham. And that is saying a lot. Mostly because Cade Cunningham is going to be the first overall draft pick. Oh boy. I don't like predicting this, but I gotta go Illinois. I gotta trust what I've seen. I've gotta trust the process. I gotta go with Illinois. Alright. So this is the Elite Eight now. Virginia versus Iowa. Like I said, yes, I'm not a big Iowa fan. Yeah, I don't like Iowa. Yeah, whatever. But Iowa's a really good team. Don't sleep on them. They're gonna be good. Iowa's winning that game against Virginia. And even if you look at the path that I have Iowa taking, they play GCU, Oregon, who I think is not as good as a lot of the other teams because I don't really value strength in the Pac-12. Kansas is probably their toughest matchup. Then they got Virginia rather than Gonzaga. So I helped Iowa out a little bit there. Unfortunately, I did, but I helped them out. Then we got Baylor versus Ohio State. The Ohio State Buckeyes. And you know what, man? All my other brackets, I took Baylor. But you know what? Ohio State's going to have those big ol' eyes looking at the other side and looking at who they will be facing in the Final Four after losing the Big Ten championship. And Ohio State is going to want one team in particular. They're going to want the Fighting Illini, and they are going to beat the Baylor Bears. We get Florida State, Alabama, and oh man, I hate doing this to Alabama. I've put them in my Final Four and all my other brackets, but I can't do it in this one. This is probably my most serious bracket that I am going to do. Florida State is a very good team. They're a very sneaky team. Alabama, they're a team that relies heavily on a big three here and there. I got to go with my gut here and take Florida State, who I know will figure out a way to win the game, whether it's from the three-point line or getting inside themselves. Illinois, West Virginia. West Virginia, like I said, is a team I respect, a team that I think could win this whole thing possibly. At the expense of Illinois, maybe. But like I said, man, I got to keep trusting it. Illinois is a very good team. They're one of the top teams in the country. Technically, they're number 3. I think they're even better than that. The way they've been playing is absolutely insane. So we look at my Final Four, man, and it is Big Ten all over the place. 75% of this thing is Big Ten. Ohio State, Illinois, it was literally the Big Ten championship. Iowa literally just lost to Illinois the day before yesterday. So the Big Ten, stacked in this tournament. Iowa versus Florida State, the first one, though. Florida State's a really good team, but like I said, I respect Iowa's game. I am not a big fan of Luka Garza, the player or the person or whatever. I don't even know what to consider it, but you can't deny that he is a good player. You can't. He's a National Player of the Year candidate for a reason. He is. I hate to say it, but he is. Do I think Iowa has a better case? Absolutely. That's my own bias, whatever. But Luka Garza is a really good player. Illinois versus Ohio State. Okay. I mean, Illinois up 2-1 on this year. We lost the first one. We won the last 2. Ohio State, they're going to want revenge. They just lost the Big Ten championship that they had a chance to win in overtime. They're going to want revenge. And unfortunately for Ohio State, I'm not giving them revenge. I want Illinois and Iowa as the national championship game in Indianapolis on April 5th. And by the way, I honestly don't know the possibility of this, but I'm trying to figure out a way to possibly get plane tickets to fly back if Illinois makes the Final Four, because I'm starting to believe that Illinois legitimately has a shot to do this thing. So I'm going to go try to figure out a way to get back towards Champaign and towards Indiana, so I can get to Indiana for the Final Four and the national championship. That will not be during spring break, but that will be during the first few weeks of the next semester. So we'll see how that thing works. But if I get to go to this game, that'd be insane. Illinois versus Iowa, though. Illinois versus Iowa. Illinois won their last 3 out of 4 meetings with these guys. The last time they lost was the first time they played them last year. So history might tell you Iowa wins this. They might, but I gotta go with Illinois, man. I gotta trust the process. Gotta keep going. Gotta keep giving into the bias. Keep giving into the hope. I'm not giving them 58. We know they're gonna be a little more competitive. Making a 5-point game, 72-65. I got Illinois winning it and bringing it back to the city of Champaign. Hopefully, we can get it done and bring it back. We got the guys to do it, man. We got the guys to do it. Even when we were struggling against Ohio State, we had guys come off the bench like Jordy Bashanis-Philly coming out there and dropping a quick 11 points and doing his thing. We got guys like Jacob Grandison willing to come out there. DeMonte Williams willing to come out there. Adam Miller coming in making some big plays. Andre Carrella coming off the bench making some big plays. Obviously, we don't even need to mention, but we will. The elite players on the team like Ayo Dosunmu, Kofi Coburn, Trent Frazier. I mean, we're just a stacked team, man. We're just a stacked team. And we're submitting the picks, man. We're submitting the picks. And there it is. There it is. Congratulations, your picks have been saved. I picked Illinois to cut down the Nets in Indianapolis. Like I said, I'll try to find a way to get to that game, hopefully. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit of a long one, but that's March Madness for you. Unfortunately, this is probably the last time you're going to be hearing from me this week, up until Thursday. Because, unfortunately, I have to study for some finals. I'm not really worried about 2 of them, but one of them, I kind of need a good grade in to pass the class. Because if I don't get a decent enough grade, I risk falling below that C-, unfortunately. But We'll figure it out, man. We always do. We always do. If I fail, I fail. Just have to take a class in the summer, whatever. It's a class that I've been struggling in, so we'll figure it out. But I'm ready to get to this tournament, man. I'm ready to get to this tournament. I cannot explain to you guys how much I've needed this tournament. We didn't get one last year. It absolutely devastated me. And this year we're getting one. Illinois has a good chance to win this whole thing. Hopefully they do. I was so excited to see Illinois win today. So if you want to go check out that reaction vlog type of thing, please do. But I'm really excited to get to Thursday, not only because March Madness is kind of beginning, because the first games, I believe, let me check. I think the first four are on Thursday. Hold on one moment though. I clicked on NCAA football, not basketball. Hold on. March 18th, Thursday, March 18th is the first four games: UCLA, Michigan State, Mount St. Mary's, and Texas Southern, Drake, Wichita State, Norfolk State, and Appalachian State. But yeah. So yes, unfortunately, I do have finals this week, but that is the same day as the first four, so it's whatever. It's whatever. I got my mom and my grandma coming into town, her mom. So that's going to be fun. But we got a big weekend ahead of us. We got a big few weeks ahead of us after each night. Yes, night. And you know what? I might even throw Thursday night into this thing. Because that could adjust who I think might win certain games. But every night, I will be coming in. I'll be breaking down the games, giving you my opinions on what I saw, what I thought of the teams, and whether or not I think they got what it takes to make a run here in March Madness. So I might throw Thursday in. Depends on how I'm feeling after that final. Because let's be honest with ourselves, if I fail that final, go pick up my mom, go pick up my grandma, I'm probably gonna feel like crap. Just because I failed a class, and you don't really want to fail a class, man. That's just not something that's fun. It's not something that's fun. And at least for me, I got to get a C- in the class because I need that class for my major in a few years. So, unfortunately, that's how it goes. But if I have to take a class this summer at Parkland, so be it. But we'll cross that bridge when that happens. But hey, I'm just ready to get this week going, man. I'm not really worried about the beginning of this week, man. Thursday is my biggest day, just because of that final. I got a math midterm that I can take anytime from Tuesday to Friday. I'm not really worried about math. I'm good at math. We've got a writing essay due tomorrow night. I just finished it up before recording this, so I mean, I know I'm rambling now. I'm just letting you guys know what's going on within the week in case you guys don't hear from me, because I don't think you will. And I'm gonna break this down right now. There is going to be absolutely zero chance that I get around to a WWE Fastlane video for you guys, a preview, a prediction, anything like that, a review. WWE Fastlane is canceled. It is canceled. There is no Fastlane video for me. There is none. I'm sorry. If you're a WWE fan watching me, I know Judge Conlon probably is. I don't know if he's still watching, but if you still are, after my little ramble, and some of my other friends, JT Dangerously, I know Bonafide Heatwise did some of these videos. So if any of you are watching, just know that there will be no Fastlane preview or predictions or anything like that. Nothing revolving Fastlane, just because my focus is completely on March Madness. Soon, I'm not even joking. Soon as my final is done on Thursday, I do not care. I do not care about anything else other than basketball. I don't. And yes, I have to start up school after a week of basketball, which was probably the Sweet 16 or something like that. But hey, man, the only thing I got to worry about is if I do fail the class and I got a C in right now, or get below a C minus, because technically it's not failing. But if I do get below a C minus, then I'm gonna have to try to get into a different class next semester, because that won't make me eligible for the 202 class that I need to take, and I'll just end up taking that next year, first semester or whatever. Like I said, I'm sorry for rambling, but man, that just got me worked up, and I gotta vent to somebody. And hey, man, you're still watching. You're still watching. But hey, at least I got the video done before I started ranting. But yeah, the only thing I gotta worry about possibly is once grades come out, is maybe just adjusting my schedule to take that class out and add some other class here or there for that. Yes, but hey, man, that's all I got for you here today. It's been Gamer's Goon. I've been going on for about an hour now. Sorry for wasting your time if I did here at the end, but hey, it's March. It's March Madness. If you guys aren't taking finals, if you guys don't have midterms, if you guys aren't in college, you know, if you guys are not in college, I'm going to be honest with you, college is a waste of money. It is a waste of money. I'm sorry, I had to get that out there because I've been thinking it the last few weeks with how much anxiety this thing's brought me. When am I gonna use this stuff, man? When am I gonna use it? Come on. I just want to get to the major stuff, man. Just want to get to the major stuff. A lot of the undergrad work sucks, man. It sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. If you're not about work, do not go to college. That's simple. That's simple. Oh man, I'm still rambling. But yeah, if you're still in high school, please enjoy this week. Be excited for this tournament, man. Please, for me at least, go through this week anxiety free, going through this, hopefully getting a victory for your favorite team. Hey, even if you're an Iowa fan, man, I hope your team does what you want them to do. Even if that's at the expense of Illinois, I sincerely want your teams to be doing good this season. Because hey, man, there's no animosity between me and anybody right now. The only people I got animosity for is the Michigan Wolverines. Not even their fan base. You know what? Yeah, their fan base has been toxic. But at this point, you know what? I don't even got animosity towards them. I'm not going to argue with them anymore. You can argue with me in the comment sections. I'm just going to leave you on red, man. I'm sorry. I just don't got the energy for all that. I hope your teams do well. I hope everybody gets their fair share of basketball. I know we've all been missing this. I know we all wanted this last year. We didn't get it last year. Hopefully this is something that everybody can enjoy. Everybody can have fun watching, and hopefully this is a very good day for a lot of you guys out there. But hey, man, that's what it is. That's what it is. And to shout out I don't even remember this man's name, man. But what was it, yesterday? Yeah, yesterday when we played Friday when we played Iowa. I actually met an Iowa fan. Yeah, I know. In the middle of Oregon, right? Yeah, I know. I was going out to hoop with my buddy. And we were just shooting around. He pulled up. And then there was a lot of other people that pulled up to play pickup. It was, 3-on-3? And rotating threes? Yeah, something like that. But he came out. He was very nice. He was like, hey, can I shoot with you guys? And we were like, yeah, sure, whatever. He comes up. Yeah. He joins us. And he was like, hey, are you an Illinois fan? I was like, yeah, why? He's like, oh, I'm an Iowa fan. And that was right after Iowa lost. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. He's like, yeah, no bad luck. And then even when he left, because he left a little bit earlier than me, he said, hey, good luck tomorrow against Ohio State. I hope you guys win the Big Ten championship. So, you know what? The only people I got animosity towards is the Michigan players. Those are the only people at this point, man. Iowa redeemed themselves. They redeemed themselves. But hey, that's it's been an hour. And I'm still talking. Whatever, man. I'm just having fun at this point. But hey, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna get on out of here, and I'll be seeing you guys and all of the March Madness stuff that will be happening. I hesitantly saying Thursday. Hesitant to say Thursday, but Thursday. I might or might not. I will tweet it out, so make sure you go follow me at GamersGoonYT. I will tweet it out whether or not I will be giving you guys an update on the first 4 matchups on Thursday. But I will definitely be there Friday. I will be there Saturday. I'll be there every day that there's a game from that point forward, I can't guarantee the first four just because I got finals that day, and the first four really don't matter that much. I mean, I think that they could, but they don't matter as much as the other games or anything like that. They don't really hold much impact, so I'm not really committed to going to that, even if I'm in a down mood because of that class, but whatever. But if you're still watching, shout out. Let me know down below who you thought was going to win. Shout outs to my boys JT Dangerously, Joseph Conlin, Bonafide Heat, DJ Storms. Anybody watching this video, man? Anybody interested in the tournament? Hey, all I gotta say to end this video, man, is the one thing I said. Hey, actually, you know what? I'm gonna end this video with a little picture for you guys, man. But hey, look at that picture first. Oh my goodness, man. Iota Sumu winning that championship, putting the Kobe pose. Oh my goodness, man. I absolutely love this team. This team is something special. But hey, there's a baby goon. Baby goon season. Posted some of the pictures. Here's me and my dad. Here's me and my friend from back in the day. Oh, and this is the picture that I actually teared up a little bit when I saw earlier today. It's me and my grandma and my dad. My grandmother passed away. But it's crazy, man. You would have told that little boy. That Illinois had a chance to win the Big Ten championship. He would have believed you. I'm telling you, he would have believed you. If you told him they had a chance to win the national championship, he would have believed you. Believe me. I made my parents literally sit through games where we were getting blown out because that little boy, that little goon, gamer's goon, he always thought this team had it in him. I'm not even joking. We would be getting blown out at halftime. And they'd be like, do you just want to go home? Do you just want to finish watching the game at home? We can go home, get some food, do this, do that. You can get home, get to bed early. And every single time, it was always no. No, I don't. No, I don't want to go home. And I do remember one time in particular, I forget who we were playing, but we were getting blown out. There was like 10 minutes left, and it was snowing. I think it was in December or something like that. And it was snowing. The roads were bad. And my dad was trying to convince me. He's like, hey, we gotta go. This game is not worth sitting through if this is what's going to happen and the conditions are getting worse outside. And I literally refused to go because that little boy absolutely adored this Illinois team. And I've technically seen this team win. They did win Big Ten championships in 2002, 2004, and 2005. However, the last time they won a Big Ten championship, I was technically 2, almost 3. This is the first time that we've won a Big Ten championship that I can remember. Yeah, we beat Wake Forest when I was a little boy, and apparently I was giving high fives to everybody. But it's the first Big Ten championship that I've seen Illinois win. And that means a lot, man. That means a lot because I'm telling you right now, that little gamer's goon would have believed you. He would have believed you. But I thinking about this team, man. Thinking about this team in the last 5 years, if you told me that one day the dream of winning the Big Ten championship was going to come true, the little boy would have agreed with you. But there's always like an analytical side of me, just like Illinois has just never been good in my life. They've never been good outside of when I was young and can't remember watching them. Every time I've watched them, they weren't good. And now we're good. We're great. And we won a Big Ten championship. I think we had a chance to win the national championship. So, you know what? If we win the national championship, man, oh my Lord, there is going to be even much, much more. I don't even know how I'm going to react. That is going to be an absolutely amazing moment for Illinois to win if that happens. But I'm going to stop rambling for you guys. I'm going to get on out here. All I got to say to end this thing is IOL.